Greetings, my name is VINESHNAIDU Suresh. My matrix number 8202875, and now I'm going to start my speech with a small analogy. So, for every 2 minutes, somewhere in the world, a person becomes a victim of sexual violence. Yet, despite the devastating impact on the survivors and society, many perpetrators walk free or receive light sentences. Imagine a world where justice is absolute, where those who commit these heinous acts face their ultimate consequences. Today, I will argue why perpetrators of sexual violence should be condemned to death, which is to deliver justice, to deter future crimes, and to protect the innocent. Of all, sexual assault is a highly personal and societal issue that impacts everyone both directly and indirectly. As members of this community, you may know someone who has been affected by sexual violence, whether a friend, a family member, or a fellow co-worker. This act does not only causes severe physical and psychological trauma to the victims, but it also undermines our society's safety and trust. By discussing how perpetrators should be punished, this topic forces us to consider the type of justice system and community we want to live in, which is one that either protects or permits such violence to continue. Your understanding and attitude on this topic can have an impact on public opinion and policy making, ultimately contributing to a safer environment for all. I have spent considerable time investigating the legal, sociological, and the psychological aspects of sexual violence and its effect on victims and society. I have also researched studies by criminologists, legal experts, and human rights organizations to better comprehend the gravity of this crime and its impact on communities around the world. My purpose today is to provide a well-informed viewpoint on why the most severe punishment, which is the capital punishment or the death sentence, should be considered for perpetrators of sexual violence based on facts, expert opinions, and the urgent need to protect potential victims while upholding justice. To protect society and provide justice for victims, perpetrators of sexual violence should face the death sentence, as this harsh punishment acts as a forceful deterrent, assures accountability, and emphasizes the gravity of these horrible crimes. Firstly, let's examine the problem. Many people say that the death penalty is a problematic response to sexual violence because it does not effectively deter rape or may worsen the situation for victims. They have also said that studies show that no significant correlation between the imposition of the death penalty and a reduction in rape cases, indicating that capital punishment is not an effective deterrent to sexual violence. Furthermore, they also said that the death penalty can discourage victims from reporting rape, especially when the perpetrators is someone known to them, such as a family member or a friend, thereby exacerbating the culture of silence and reducing access to justice for the survivors. So this is the problem that many people are facing, that the society is facing when the capital punishment is being upheld. Now, let's consider the proposed solution and its benefits. Firstly, implementing the death penalty for sexual violence perpetrators ensures the highest level of accountability and serves as a strong deterrent against such heinous crimes. The death penalty reflects the severity of sexual violence, which often causes irreversible physical and psychological harm to victims, where it justifies the ultimate punishment for offenders. Countries like India have adopted the death penalty for rape and sexual violence against children and women to reinforce the seriousness of these crimes and to protect vulnerable populations, showing legislative commitment to combating sexual violence. So next, what are the benefits of proposing the death penalty for perpetrators of sexual violence? First, it would deliver justice to victims. Proponents argue that the death penalty provides a sense of justice for victims and their family, reflecting society's condemnation of such heinous acts. It acknowledges the irreversible harm caused and demonstrates that the legal system takes these crimes with the utmost seriousness. Second, the capital punishment acts as a deterrent for the crime. Supporters believe that the threat of the ultimate punishment may deter potential offenders from committing sexual violence, thus contributing to the prevention of future crimes. Next, the capital punishment emphasizes the gravity of the crime. The death penalty underscores the severity of sexual violence, sending a very clear message that such acts will not be tolerated and that the consequences would be severe. Finally, the capital punishment would protect vulnerable populations. By removing these dangerous and disgusting offenders from society permanently, the death penalty is seen as a way to protect children and other vulnerable groups from these repeating offenders. However, it is critical to note that evidence and expert analysis also shows that the death penalty does not always achieve its intended benefits. In many cases, it may discourage victims from reporting, especially when the perpetrator is a family member, or may even lead to further harm or wrongful convictions due to flaws in the justice system. Now that you have understood the grave impact of sexual violence and the urgent need for justice, I urge you to take a stand today. Join the movement and demand the strictest penalties for perpetrators by first, signing the petition advocating for the death penalty for sexual violence offenders, available at the exit or online right now. Second, contacting your local legislators and urging them to support laws that impose the death penalty for these crimes. Third, sharing this message with your community to raise awareness and build collective pressure for change. Act now, because every moment we delay justice, more victims suffer. Your voice can help bring about the decisive action needed to protect our society and honor those harmed. So, I would like to recap everything. So, in conclusion, sexual violence shatters life and scars our society. We have seen why the most severe punishment, the death penalty, is the only just response to such heinous and disturbing crimes. Today, you have the power to demand justice that truly protects victims and deters future crime. Remember, justice delayed is justice denied. If we fail to act decisively now, we allow silence and suffering to continue. So I ask you, if not now, when? Stand with me in calling for the ultimate accountability, because every survivor deserves a world where pain is met with unwavering justice. Thank you.